1, and you're live.
Alright, hello everyone. Hello gamers. This is the only mode you remember about Brawl, the good one, Subspace Emissary. And I guess we'll introduce ourselves. I am the runner, obviously, Tech.
SWC. I am SWC19. I also ran this game.
I'm Rubber Ducky Assassin, and I also used to run this game.
And I will soon use to run this game as well. Alright, let's get started. Alright, 3, 2, 1, gaming. Alright, we're gonna open up with a 10-second cutscene loading screen because Sakurai did us dirty and gave us a bunch of those.
But at least we get to skip a longer cutscene.
True. And then let's see how bad this Mario is. This is bad Mario. Okay, and then suck Mario and he died.
OG strats.
And they're
Definitely some of the OG strats are still used today.
yeah, so this first level, Midair Stadium, is one of the first, one of the first worst first levels in the entirety of speedrunning, in my opinion.
Yeah, so pretty much this level makes me think that there's going to be a lot of combat in Subspace, but there's a couple levels like this, but a lot of it is just it's basically just a Kirby game.
It really is.
I mean, I feel like if we made it, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Also, what is this RNG? This is really good. All these pops is good.
Yeah. So something that we're going to be doing throughout the run, whenever you hit an enemy into another enemy or anything that has a hitbox, it'll make that particular enemy despawn faster. So if you can hit any of the enemies when they die into another hitbox, it'll end the fight a lot faster. That was really having all 4 of those hitboxes, pretty much all scattered.
Yeah, that's the plan, to just hit each enemy into another whenever I can.
And right there, he actually has an option to save Peach or Zelda. It changes the story a little bit and changes what characters you're able to pick in a couple of the stages. We save Zelda, partially because we spawn a little closer to it, but also because Sheik is going to be a little faster.
I landed on the
We'll
platform.
be using her later. But something cool about Subspace is that we do get to show off some pretty cool speedrun and just brawl tech, just with a bunch of different characters in the game because we have to use specific characters. So
Yeah.
right here we're having to use Pit instead of Mario.
And
Kirby.
about to introduce why Brawl gliding is not broken. Totally not broken.
Pit is one of 3 characters in the game that can glide, and has the second best glide, and we will see the others later. Gliding is pretty good. Basically, you can pretty much with at least Pit and one of the characters, you can pretty much just fly indefinitely if you keep dipping down every so often to get speed, which we're going to see here maybe once or twice, just to maintain the speed. And we're coming up right now on a
I
fight
just
skip.
skipped the fight.
Yeah,
Who would have known?
So fights in this in these platforming levels are often based on just like bounding boxes, fight triggers. So if you fly over them or skip them in some other way, you just skip them and you don't have to do them.
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole bunch of those throughout the run. They'll be done with gliding, they'll be done with some other few characters like Lucas.
These fight skips were like relatively known for a long time. Something interesting about like just Subspace and Smash in general is that a lot of these glitches and things are known for a long time, but they weren't really introduced or implemented in the speedrun. And Tech was really the first person to actually start implementing a lot of those like fight skips and more difficult strats into the speedrun. So it's kind of, I don't know if you really remember that, but that is, it's kind of bringing full circle because me and Tech specifically have been speedrunning Brawl for a very long time.
This may look funny, but shout out to Dylan Stitch.
Oh my god.
That actually
Yeah, so,
saves time if
so,
I get
yeah,
frame
rolling
perfect
backwards
rolls.
is marginally faster than just dash.
That's like the only time I'll ever use it, because that's the only time that I can actually genuinely save time from it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time where there's just straight running. There's usually some sort of jumping or falling or something that we have to be doing as well, where we don't really have the chance to just roll or dash attack for the movement option.
And people are wondering, for the Brawl people that know about Dacus, Sheik Dacus is not possible in Subspace. And I'm assuming that's because of the core mechanic change.
Yeah, there's so in order to make Subspace more balanced overall, they decided to either nerf or buff specific characters, either jump height or height of certain moves or whatever have you. For example, I think Peach's up B goes higher than it normally would, and Kirby's up B goes higher than it normally would, or something along those lines.
Right.
But
anyone want to see a coin flip real quick?
I
got
Tails.
Okay, well, if Tails is bad, you guessed right. If I got a big mushroom from that, I would have saved 3 seconds. It's like a 50-50 kind of, but it's like based on the frame rule.
Yeah, so also talking about the some of the attacks, like going a bit higher, that's compounded with the fact that Subspace has added gravity and fall speed to pretty much every character. So some characters like Pit and Diddy Kong kind of rely on stalling in midair to do their recoveries, and they're basically not possible with the increased gravity.
Yep. And we're coming on an attempt at a pause glitch, and if I fail or get it, I will explain what it is afterwards. Failed it. So what a pause glitch is when I'm about to enter a fight trigger, I try to pause the same frame I'm about to enter it. And if that successfully happens, I would be able to unlock the camera gets locked back to the character, and I can basically mess around with the blast zones and manipulate when enemies die. So when I started implementing those strats in my runs around a year ago, I created those pause glitch specific strats, and I only do, because you can practically do pause glitch in every fight, but I only do ones that saved about 3 to 4 seconds at minimum, and that was one that would save like 5 seconds if I got it and did it correctly. But when I don't get it, I just do the normal fight. So there'll be a couple attempts of those throughout the run. Hopefully I get one. I'm gonna hold on to this bomb. My bomb.
Damage boost, fuck champ.
Yeah, that one's like as old as time, probably.
Yeah.
I use that one.
Okay, why did I short hop? I don't know. Alright, nice 3-second time loss.
Happens to the best of us.
True.
It's also something that they take into consideration in terms of like just the movement that he has, the options to do in this game is like, it's hard to like really express it, but there's just a lot of particular movement options he needs to do sometimes, and like for that instance where he did a short hop instead of a full hop, it messed up the full fight and he lost 3 seconds because of it. This game has a lot of instances like that, and there's lots of RNG elements, like certain items to spawn for enemies to do certain patterns or something like that. So,
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that goes into this run,
like,
on top of just playing well.
About every fight, I like intentionally do a move, intentionally move a certain direction. There's a lot that has gone through. There's a lot that has been implemented into this run for those fight strats over the last 3-4 years.
There's more manipulation, for sure.
Yeah. For the most part, enemies are going to spawn in the same place every time, so we can both expect them and know what to do to get rid of them as fast as possible.
The beginning of this stage is also really cool. Shows its like full extent of how OP gliding can be. And this is a good explanation of like really showing.
Oh god, I didn't even hit that. Okay. Alright, here's another
really
attempt at
wants
a pause glitch.
Get these fights to end as soon as possible.
I think it was 2 frames early or something like that.
Yeah, and as
Oh
you
my
can tell,
god,
the
what is
big
that
thing
fight?
here is about items. Items are random, so being able to adapt and use them to the best of your ability is super important.
Alright, now we're coming up on one of my favorite levels. Not just because it has Bramble Blast, but it's quite interesting, the movement.
This is a very, very cool stage for sure. Lots of neat elements of subspace and also just gameplay that you have to do. But this boss fight's kinda lame.
So Rayquaza has an ability, or not really an ability, but like just some things about him that Brawl features a type resistance, and like kind of like Pokemon, where you have not very effective types of moves and super effective, and pretty much every type of move is not very effective on Rayquaza.
I think it's like
There's like one.
hammered or something.
There's like one.
It's ice.
Oh, okay.
Which, I mean, makes sense with Pokemon. Rayquaza is weak to ice, but everything else is, it's also worth noting that the Pyramids, like the main enemies that have swords, they're weak to, or they're resistant to swords, which is really annoying later.
The worst enemy in the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate them.
Because in a majority of times it takes multiple hits to take them out, when the other ones are just one.
Sakurai literally created that type of Primate just to counter Mennonite. He literally knew. Literally the one thing that Mennonite can't one-shot.
It's a pretty tight cycle that he just made it there, actually. Doesn't look like it, but it is. Doing those short hop illusions into the door, so one, a little faster than running to the door, but also it gets him to enter the door a little bit faster. For whatever reason, just instead of walking up to a door and entering it, if you can enter the door from falling above or falling onto it.
Oh wow, I failed that.
Right. Because it doesn't really matter what state you're in when you're entering a door.
Little drop down back air forward smash.
It's pretty nice.
Up your guys' volumes.
Yeah, this is a good, really good song, and something to note also is depending on the difficulty of the game, auto scrollers and also like enemy HP will be more so like on intense difficulty. If you repeat this stage, the auto scroller is incredibly faster. It's like 30 or 40 seconds faster than it is on easy, but everything is a lot harder.
So what I just did there, while I'm in the auto scroller, there's a door that enters like a secret room for 100%. There's a couple of places in this whole run where in the auto scrollers there are those type of doors, and if I enter them, I'm able to either cancel or make the auto scroller spawn in a different state or a different like faster part of it.
And with the aforementioned speed changes, it's only really a relevant time save, or I mean, it's a time loss on higher difficulties even.
Most auto scrollers on higher difficulties get faster as they go. There's a couple that aren't like that. So that me entering that door saved like 2 seconds. And then I'm switching to Diddy in the auto scroller so my loads don't get screwed up, because we want to be Diddy for this next fight because it makes life a whole lot easier.
This is another like just run killer. Any of these AI fights,
Oh, I got the upbeat. I got the upbeat.
Yeah, this
Oh,
fight
that's
is
tight. That's
awful
tight.
unless
Look at
Bowser
that.
does that.
That is so sick.
So
Love to
these,
see it.
these kinds of enemies at the end of levels have like certain patterns and whatnot. They can also be like freeform as well. But yeah, that was basically the best kind of pattern you want. Could have been a bit faster, but getting him to up B off the level was semi-intentional, but you know, never
Yeah,
expected.
they can do all kinds of really trolly things, and if certain items spawn, they'll want to go towards the item instead of you, and it's just a lot of RNG and stuff that you have to worry about.
So I think with this autoscroller being like well over a minute, I think it's fine for donations to be read.
Yeah, just give me a pull it up. Also, it seems like the checkpoints for content.
Yeah, I've been adjusting.
Not can do it that fast, so that has to be on.
Yeah, I've been adjusting
Yeah,
every time
it's-
someone said it.
I think it's mostly me that's quiet.
I would love to get a name, but the last person owns all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
adjusting as I go in case
Yeah, it's all
someone
good.
else mentions it again.
Okay. Donation tracker here. Yeah, we had anonymous earlier with $25, no message, but thank you. There's also Abilita with 20, also no message. Thank you. Of course, the donations are for the Stack Up charity. They're raising money for it. It supports mental health of veterans through gaming. And you can type charity in the chat to learn more. And of course, donate if you're able to.
Oh, that was really unlucky. That was like a pretty odd pattern. Only went in the drill, but he kind of put it back on the wrong side. And went up, but still pretty good poker.
Porky can be kind of trolly, so
Yep. Alright, so
he has like
now-
really weird, what's it called? Just hitboxes.
just
Yeah, I mean, the moves that he does are super inconsistent too. Like, there's a couple where he just hangs out at the top of the stage, which is really awful.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I'm gonna do some cool movement with Lucas. I'm pretty sure it's called a PSI magnet boost, or there's probably a more technical term. But basically, if I do a side B, one direction, PK fire, one direction, and then I can buffer, because this game is a buffer system, I can buffer down B, and that instantly gains speed. Nice bomb, by the way. Up there, just kill him. That was very wonky.
Yeah, Lucas is a really, really cool showcase of movement
Another
that we
pulse
get to
push.
see because of just the weird subspace combinations that we get. Squirtle and Lucas are both kind of weird movement options, to say the least, especially for the kind of stages that we're given for them. So using Lucas's more glitched methods of movement is pretty cool, especially when done properly in this stage. The stage is really technical.
Yeah, obviously I did not do them properly, so you couldn't see that. But yeah. Alright, so now we're coming up on another skip. This is one of two skips that we're going to be doing with Lucas. And I'm going to just kill these flows because screw them, they ruin everything. And just like that, I literally just got hit. Mini mushroom.
Oh gosh.
I have to wait now. It's still faster if I wait. I'm just gonna... I can't even short hop onto the spring. Alright.
He's so small. Okay.
Yeah, so this is gonna be another fight skip just by going over the fight trigger.
Doing Lucas's PK Thunder and going up it, and that one is like a really tight. a really tight fight skip. We have to be on the very left ledge of that platform, and luckily with like a few jumps, it's conveniently placed. So
Would you say that's still one of the hardest skips?
I still hate it. I literally messed it up in the last 2 runs I've done.
I never messed that one up. That's all
I've always been very inconsistent at it.
But I've always been used to using the side kid recovery, so maybe I'm just a weirdo.
Sometimes there's just times where I just have a disconnect and I like forget how to control PK Thunder, and it's like, alright, well, guess I'll miss.
Yeah, I remember that was a big issue for me for like 2 months at some point.
It's like debatably about the same speed to go either up or down, but it's just a little easier to go up.
Right, because you get a little bit of the drift. Yeah.
It's easy to mess up both options.
Another damage boost as old as time.
Boom!
Yes, roll back, go into door.
Alright, so I'm choosing Marth here because, you know, as we said earlier, Sakurai's sole purpose for Sword Primates was to keep Mennonite at bay, so... And on top of that, because I was already loaded in with Marth, being Marth, like playing as him before entering this fight, I was able to load in the fight faster.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that a couple more times too. Just picking the character that we just used to save on load times, because loads are notoriously long here.
There's definitely a handful of strats that we do to save time in loading. So.
True. Now we're gonna SD, because we want to do Mennonite, because we're about to do some wonky stuff. So, anyone can explain it while I do it.
Okay.
You want it?
Yeah. I'll try. All right. So, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna tap out. Actually.
Alright, so
I'm tapping out. Yeah.
basically, we were flying over the first fight, starting the second fight, but we're able to walk back into the bounds of the first fight, which will effectively start the first fight and unlock the camera for some reason. Then we're gonna walk into an auto-scroller while the game still thinks we're in that first fight. So when the enemies from that first fight are killed, the camera unlocks again, but we're still in the auto-scroller.
I screwed that up. I normally go down so that the camera changes, but I guess I didn't go low enough.
There is a death barrier right there that if you just fly into and you don't fly over, you just instantly die. So what should have happened there was flying pretty much all the way to the end. The game still thinks you're in the auto-scroller.
Oh,
so
please
as
get
long
in the
as you
fight!
get past a certain point before the auto-scroller ends, you're fine. So like there, as he died, the auto-scroller was actually still happening in the background. So that death was a result of the game ending the auto-scroller and thinking that you weren't in the place because you weren't, and just killing you and sending you back to where the auto-scroller ends.
I didn't enter the last fight, so I could actually get back to Mennonite and skip that. That actually is the highest fight trigger in this game.
It's the hardest one.
That one is very deceptively high to where the trigger actually ends up top.
That's a very, very difficult stage to pull off perfectly, because you're pretty much pulling off a bunch of different frame specific, and you also have to be very particular on where you are in the stage, because like we said, if you're flying too low, it'll just kill you. And if you just mess up anything in that segment, you won't have the time to get the fight skip, and the game will just cut you off anyway. So you have to play pretty much perfectly anyway during that segment. So it's really hard to do that.
I practically did the auto-scroller skip, but I kind of messed up my my gliding, because normally I would, because there's, after the auto-scroller skip, there's 2 more fights that we do skip within that one glide. I normally go down to get the camera to change, and I didn't go low enough, so it kind of jerked me back. And now we're gonna skip another fight, because we're Mennonite and we can do that.
Yeah, so if you don't know about Brawl, Mennonite is, think the strongest character in any fighting game, and like multiply that by 2, that's Mennonite.
They wanted to get that like Guinness Book of World Records for whatever. Like honestly, I don't even know. They were
Best
like,
character in the fighting game.
just in case it's a thing, let's just make this dude busted. So.
I mean, we also have the worst character in the fighting game, which you won't see in this run at all, but Ganondorf is by far the absolute worst character in this game, too.
No comment.
Yeah, we're not using Ganon at all in this run. And speaking of that, there are plenty, if anyone knows the kind of like tier list of Brawl. By the way, another pause glitch. Wow, that sucks. That's the easiest one to get. That was super late. But yeah, the tier list of Brawl, competitively, like, you know, you have the high tiers and low tiers. It's kind of opposite in Subspace, almost. It's very interesting for Subspace. There's still plenty of, like, high top tiers competitively that are still, like, for Subspace, like, also a high tier, like, whoa. Okay, I've never gotten that boost there.
Let's go.
I thought that was only in the cave. Okay. But yeah. So characters like Mennonite still good. Is it just Mennonite? Or am I missing someone?
You have Mennonite and Snake.
Snake. Yeah.
Snake for some points. Pika's good. Pika's like mid tier, and then Falco's pretty okay. Used like once, right? Or not at all.
I think Calco's routed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think use Falco anymore.
Never use Falco.
Yeah, so I mean, and then you have characters like Falcon who are like very bad competitively, but very good in Subspace.
4-block, PogChamp.
Yeah. I think 5 is possible, but that's just...
Yeah, it is.
Alright, but yeah, in that last fight, you saw me kind of try to go for a strat, and I picked up a ray gun by accident. It's just like random items that can spawn, just completely mess up my fight strats, like Ducky said earlier. It's just gotta notice, but if it's in the way of something that I've always done, I don't know what else to do. So,
but dude,
like this
Yoshi
beam sword.
movement, sick.
Oh my god, what is this?
Yeah, we also did see Tech just grabbing one of those shell pods and throwing it off stage. That's something you can do. You can pretty much just throw any enemy. It kind of defaults to forward throw, but if you input fast enough, you can get any others. But really don't really see that too often in the run.
Yeah, it's a funny strat. Not very often when used.
Yeah, it's used about pretty much just there to get those shell pods out.
Do it in the cave, and that's about it. I think.
Use it on Diddy.
Grabs are sick. Anyway, ZSS, unfortunately, has no match for Pikachu's. Pikachu's okay. Pikachu is probably the most difficult character to use in Subspace because of its movement options.
Yeah, no one really messed around with the Brawl Tech of quick attack cancels really before this year. So Pikachu movement was kind of whack.
Yeah, so to explain what a quick attack cancel is, every time you see that like zip into the ground and then jump after, you're basically just canceling most of your lag from the quick attack, which is Pikachu's up special. And then you can just keep moving and like chaining a bunch of those together.
Yeah, it's super easy because of the buffer system.
Okay. So hitting a button there that's above, just with Thunder, just to skip a little bit of platforming and just moving back. So Research Facility 1 basically takes you through a couple sections to clear out some platforms and stuff in the final area.
There's also instances of fights that are actually like skippable. The fight that he just did is skippable technically, but the characters that we have can't or it's humanly not really possible to skip the fights. But you're able to do it with like certain other characters like Mennonite or something like that.
Right, you can effectively skip any fight that has like a vertical, like skippable box with shells, but that's very difficult.
Literally just happened to me in practice before that run. I was trying to do in Thunder to get that Glunder enemy, get that second one. Oh my god, what is going on? Okay.
The movement options.
That was interesting. Like the tech roll onto ledge.
I'd say it was probably for the swag's points. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
losing 3 seconds for swag.
Swag points. I'd say Pikachu is a pretty swag character to use, honestly. Like it looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Pika's super cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, technically you're pretty much able to skip this fight with Pikachu if one of those robs before drops a shell and you do a super difficult trick. But
That was confusing.
we can save that for tasks.
Yeah, damage boosting is another big option. That
These bombs.
dang,
Yeah.
the angle is insane.
I don't know how I reacted to both of those. Alright, so that was pretty much... I kind of personally split these all these levels into segments, like early, mid, late game, and then, you know, maze is a whole nother story. So that was pretty much the end of early game. Now
Yeah,
we're getting
and we
on to
started-
the 11th level now.
Class.
Starting mid game with the worst fight in the game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see what happens here.
Oh. Oh.
That might have almost been too early. She could have easily went
Ooh.
over my
Alright.
my forward smash.
So that went pretty well for the standards of this fight. That can go awfully.
Yeah, these fights were so bad that like everyone but me kind of had sub splits for them.
Yeah.
So they could just lose a whole bunch of time, and they still do.
Yeah, it's mostly just a matter of the AI just not wanting to die, basically. So what we're trying to do is pretty much just throw these off into the blast zone on the side, or just hit them there.
Mario, don't screw me. Okay.
Also, this is one of the stages that changes depending on if you pick Zelda or Peach at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So since we picked Zelda, we're fighting as Pit and Yoshi. If we picked Peach, we would have fought as Mario and Link.
It's definitely.
Hit and Mario, Yoshi, Link, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Close enough.
Alright, we're coming
You get what I'm saying.
pretty cool pause glitch if I get it, which would save 11 seconds. And that was like 3 frames early. Wow. No pause glitches so far.
That's okay. No frame perfect, difficult glitches. He's not picking up the stickers. I'm getting a little triggered. Not gonna lie. Thank you.
Got one kind of unintentionally.
Oh, where's my input? Alright, want to see a cool Yoshi down B. Oh my god. I
That was
RNG
cool.
this rod is
What's
so
going on?
weird.
What's happening?
Alright.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Item
You Anna
RNG.
fan?
These new strats.
These new strats.
Yeah, so item RNG definitely can lose me a bunch of time like that, but that's
love
how the
these
game
item
is
strats.
sometimes.
Another sticker? This is insane.
I probably have like 100 of all the stickers at this point.
Yeah, so stickers, CDs, and trophies are the collectibles in this, and only CDs actually lose you time. They lose about 2 seconds per CD, but they're optional, so
Yeah.
stickers and
Pick them up,
trophies
you're
lose no
asking for
time.
it.
Yeah.
I think we can get another few donations. Oh, Yoshi just jumps around and pulls his tongue out.
That's some cool movement.
Can I wait
I
bounce?
like Yoshi movement.
Wait bounce. Oh god, that's not wave bounce. Alright, I'm losing 3 seconds.
No, dude, what are you doing?
Alright, so just because I want to finish the last part of this level off with Yoshi and choose Yoshi, obviously, I'm going to lose 3 seconds because now I'm not loaded in with Yoshi. What is
Screwing
these?
around.
Oh my, I can't believe the amount of items I'm getting.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually crazy.
You took that very calmly.
Hey, look, it's Paper Bowser.
Or run. Yo.
Good trophy.
Doctor Paper Bowser. Hey.
Yeah, is that what happens in the game? He becomes a doctor.
I don't know. That's what it looked like. He looked like he was wearing like a. Like
It was
doctor. I
it
don't
was
know,
a
man.
tuxedo.
No. Anyway.
There's a double kill strat there that's really freaking difficult. I didn't try to go for it.
Boing hot. That's all I gotta say. Pretty good movement option. Yoshi is a character that is considered really not good, like competitively, but I would say is one of the better subspace characters. Its movement its movement options are like pretty much immense. Like it has a lot of different options because of how high it can jump and how floaty he is. He's also really fast and has a very fast horizontal move and can kill things really easily. So.
Yeah, Yoshi's just a super versatile character. I mean, especially in these situations where we have the option of Link, who's one of the worst characters, Kirby, who's okay, Mario's okay, and then Pit's alright. Yoshi is just by far the best out of the things that we can pick out of.
Giving us a super vertical level, especially.
Right.
What level comes next after this? Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
I sometimes forget what's the next
Oh,
level
yeah,
if I don't
Path
have
of the
splits.
Path of the Ruins.
So I just like be extra cautious at times.
Oh, it was Wedding Paper Bowser.
Yeah.
Ah.
From Super Paper Mario.
Alright, so I took
Look,
a I took a damage boost there to go through that one jike and avoid it with iframes, and now we're coming on to the second and last Lucas skip.
That's pretty sick.
Alright, hope you all had fun.
Yeah, this skip is much, much more lenient than the one in Ruin Zoo.
You love to see it.
Oh, didn't make it over.
And just doing an air dodge while doing your second jump will let you just literally just air dodge over, like through the enemy's hitbox for some reason. I don't know why. There's just a
Yeah, you get
part
just
over
enough
the
of a
head.
hitbox change to get over it.
Super weird for those two. Hey, good RNG. Normally that fire primate tries to attack me and screws up my movement, but
Yeah, Lucas is another really cool character that's generally considered not great overall, but has some really cool movement options and is generally really strong in subspace.
I will take that. Oh god, okay. If I picked that up on the ground, I would have just instantly
Anybody
deflated.
like baseball?
Yeah, so pretty much for all these subspace levels, you're really given an option of like a couple pools of characters. So like here it's Lucas, your Pokemon trainer. Before it's the Mario, Pit, Link, Yoshi. So pretty much all of the character selections are just usually what is the least worst character, unless it sounds like Mennonite. But
We haven't explained the story of why these characters are together, but you know we're going fast, so who cares?
there's a lot of story to explain, and there's a lot of story left unexplained. Just by design of subspace, like Sakurai just cut some like really important cutscenes out for some reason, and like the full lore is just not fully explained. But for the most part, there's some bad stuff that's turning characters into trophies, and we gotta stop them.
Alright, so now we're
And
coming up to
everyone's slowly learning that we need to stop them.
we're coming up to a Wario fight, and there's a faster strat where I go off to one of the sides and back throw him, but I'm gonna do the more brutal strat of just abusing him for like a few seconds if he can get hit.
This
Wow,
try is
this
kind
is
of fun.
this is actually
Yeah.
so. Oh, and nice trip. What is this run?
But yeah, you can literally
Oh
think
my
of this
God.
kind of like a zombie like TV show.
Oh my god, this is so bad.
I did want to talk about tripping.
He didn't die.
So, if you know Brawl, you obviously know that tripping is one of the reasons why it wasn't as good of a game. Tripping is about 4 times rarer in subspace for some reason. So they're not as common. I think it's like 1 in 400.
Yeah.
on like when you start a dash. So we won't see too many trips. We've had 2 so far,
Count them.
which is pretty good, considering how much we're running and stuff.
There's a lot of dash inputs that we are inputting for sure.
What was that? Alright. Fun fight.
I like the stage. I think this stage is a pretty cool stage.
Oh, bomb! Oh my god.
There's a lot of intricate fight strats for this. Oh!
No! I meant to throw it! I pressed. Ah! This is actually crazy. What is going on? Please be the last one. Okay.
Yo, it hit him. Oh.
Okay, this run so far is just items, items, and that normally doesn't happen.
Yeah, this is actually a lot more items than I would typically see in a run, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I think items are turned on high. So.
Could be.
Sometimes you just don't use items either. Like sometimes like big mushrooms actually lose you time.
Yeah, that actually just happened in Path when I was doing those Armites.
Right, because you get a little bit of the time where it like makes you larger, and then you also have the time at the end where it makes you smaller. You can, it's not significant, but you lose maybe like a second and a half if you don't really utilize it properly. So this way we're gonna see Yoshi grab some more shell pods, just throw them off because they take a lot of hits and they're annoying to deal with. So just throw them off stage and they're fine.
If I can get an item, I can save 2 seconds, and game is doing real good on RNG.
Don't get items
because of that one glider at the end. Be able to time a downwards throw at it and be able to move on while it dies. But yeah, all right. Now we're coming on to a really interesting pause glitch that saves 2 seconds. If I can get it, and nope.
It's it.
We'll get one.
Something that I don't know if you might have said something about it, but double jump canceling is in this game with some of the characters. Any of the characters that have a side magnet, so Ness or Lucas, also Yoshi with his neutral B. He'll use that to just not fully. It doesn't fully stop his momentum, but it stops it almost abruptly, but just enough because Brawl's really floaty and Yoshi's also really floaty. So he'll use that in some of his movement options, but it's more prevalent with like Lucas.
Yeah. Okay, this level, this first room is interesting. So there's a global cycle of blocks moving down and up and all over the place, and only Squirtle can make it through this one part of the cycle to be able to save a couple of seconds. Right here. And as long as I don't get screwed by mites hitting me too much, I can make the full cycle.
So many mites!
Alright, well, I made the full cycle, but that wasn't the best. And then we just move through with the rest of this part of Squirtle, and then we kill him off.
He clipped onto the top of it by air dodging while it was hitting him. It was a very well made platform.
Infamous up tilt Squirtle chant.
But basically what's happening, like, story-wise right now with just these guys is literally we've been trying to find Pokemon trainers Pokemon. That's all that's been happening.
Yeah,
and like there's a side storyline of Lucas and Wario have some beef. But
yes, so like the reason Lucas and Pokemon Trainer are together is Lucas lost Ness, Wario turned Ness into a trophy, then coincidentally Pokemon Trainer was kind of just hanging out in wherever Lucas was, and then they joined up. There's no real story explanation as to why Pokemon Trainer's there. He's kind of just looking around everywhere for his Pokemon.
he just showed up.
Right.
Yeah, see, he's just there, and now they're together.
So now, while we're in this auto-scroller, people may be wondering, why am I damaging myself? Do I want to lose the run? Do I want to lose 2 minutes? Well, actually, we have another door that we enter in this auto-scroller to cancel it, and there are gliders at the bottom of this auto-scroller that I'm going to do a damage boost and save 1 second and because the rest of the level is pretty consistent, I shouldn't die besides one of the fights that in the next room. If a bomb unluckily spawns, which it's obviously going to happen, because this run is just insanely unlucky. That's the only time I can genuinely die. Here's pretty cool damage boost. Whee! I didn't mean to tech on the ground.
He teched.
I didn't mean to. When you don't want to hit your techs. Oh, I didn't mean to short out there.
Yeah, so this is the cutscene where we see that Ivysaur now exists, and that's the entire cutscene. It kind of just pans over to a trophy of Ivysaur, and then it cuts out. So now we have the ability to play as Ivysaur if we want. But, that's not happening.
Up smash button.
Yeah, so these fights are very consistent, so that's why I'm pretty comfortable with taking the 1 second damage boost at 120, 150%.
Starman.
Probably gonna run out by the time the fight starts, though.
Yeah, but it's the principle.
True.
Alright, if we got our head, we could have done some cool stuff with these upcoming buttons.
The game was like, see, look, I'll be nice. I'll give you a bomb.
Yeah, so with the hot head, you can kind of just set it, and then it presses all the buttons for you as you run behind it. Super nice.
He's making sure not to dash attack, because Lucas's dash attack is really slow.
Yeah.
So he's making sure to stop his momentum enough so that he doesn't get the dash attack input.
Yeah, forward air could be also really good for those, but I haven't super timed it before, so I just still do jabs. Alright, another fun character.
Fun smile.
Yeah, so the Charizard fight is, you know,
Oh my god.
fight.
Please
Ideally, we're gonna try and throw and then back air spike off, but
wow.
we'll see.
Well,
He didn't even. He taunted. This man taunted. He didn't even do anything. What the
now the backup strat is just play Ivysaur because that's the only choice I have.
Yeah, so really just up smash and up air until Charizard's gone.
I want to hit him into this. I want to hit him into this.
Up throw.
Back. I forgot Ivysaur back air.
He died.
Oh, I got him. I forgot how bad Ivysaur back air is.
There we go.
Yeah. Ivysaur back air is one of the worst moves in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not ultimate.
So that dying with Lucas is just purely just my fault, like not paying attention. It was gonna be hard to try to get back there anyway, since I don't main Lucas, so you know it's gonna be impossible to try to get back.
Now we have Mennonite.
Yeah, that's right.
True. Back to the storyline. The storyline here is nothing.
So Mennonite's trying to get his ship back, the Halberd. So one of the like the cutscenes is basically why Mennonite isn't in possession of his ship right now. Like, there's no like reason in the game. You kind of just don't know why he isn't on his ship. So he's trying to find a ship. Martha's kind of just like there, and then they get into a fight, and then they join up.
Yeah,
So that's the story there.
Alright, so some cool stuff. I can pull it off with Mennonite. It's called Invisible Cape Glitch. It's the one Mennonite trick that's banned in tournaments. And then...
Yeah, so to do it, you do down B, and then you mash up on the C stick. It's great.
I'll do one more time with this. Nah, I'll do it one more time. Screw it. Screw you, Sakurai. I'm kidding. I love you, Sakurai. Free melee.
Love to see it.
Free melee, though. Alright, so that was a mountain clip. That basically saves 10 seconds from going over the entire mountain, and we would basically skip another fight regardless anyway. And I probably only saved like 2 seconds here. And
Right, you mostly save time just by not having to fall like all the way down the mountain.
Yeah. So that was a relatively, I guess you could say, new discovery. Though that was, how long ago was that? I don't know if that was 2018 or.
It was probably discovered maybe 3 years ago, but it was never really
Yeah.
implemented until recently.
Yeah. It's like a feeling thing, but it's still like kind of. I don't know if it's like
Frame
a sub.
perfect.
I don't know if it's like a sub pixel thing or what it is. Frame perfect.
Yeah.
I still.
It's frame perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can tell you. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty sure that that particular glitch is a frame perfect glitch because there's only one frame that Mennonite can enter the wall in.
Yeah, there's another one, but he like half goes into it and then goes back out.
Okay.
But it's still technically frame perfect. It's just a weird thing of where, you know, sometimes you do like go half in and half out, and then you also can die. There's also death.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think there's some inconsistencies
right.
that we don't know about.
They're not amazing. So
Yeah, so this is Gallium, who also makes an appearance in Ultimate.
We'll see Gallium a lot.
I want to keep him to the right, so when he does this move, he stays in one spot. Yeah, for a lot of bosses, especially when I'm Mennonite and whatnot, just in general, like Mennonite's really good kill moves, or just highly good damage moves, or down smash, and there, see a bunch of that. Alright, now you get to see boss battles. The
so
level.
if you missed Gallium in the past 15 seconds, we get to see him again.
Yeah,
For some reason, the game just has you fight the exact same boss 2 times in a row, just in a different location.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry, go on. You're good.
Yeah, Charizard is by far the fastest boss killer in the game with Rock Smash.
Yep. Alright, and now we come on to the part where we mention the pay-to-win version.
Yeah, so
Korean.
No.
So the fastest version of the game is the PAL version, and the reason why is we're gonna do a skip here. So you do a fight skip there, and then we're going to basically just die here. And on PAL, you spawn where Tech spawns here. On NTSC, you spawn back at the beginning of the level. We don't know why this happens, but it does.
I want to do a cool strat that would be done later on. I want to do it here because it's pretty cool, especially with Pit, but I died, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the jump list strat where I'm going to SD at the beginning of this part and get back to Pit so I don't have to do a like 45-second fight, because there's another fight skip here.
Yeah. This stage was pretty much like completely revolutionized and changed because of PAL. It used to be just a complete auto-scroller stage. It was pretty Resident Sleeper, but now you can literally skip the majority of the entire stage on PAL version, and it's really cool and really technical.
By the way, this is not intentional. I paid the price for trying to only lose 2 seconds by losing probably a minute, so I'm just getting back Pit so I can actually skip this fight coming. Just go over the triggers, and hey, look at that. No fight.
Still a really good movement right there. That's not easy.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways you could skip that.
Oh,
you
God.
could just do the glide like was done there, but you can also use up B to just skip
Slide offs.
Holy
slide
crap.
offs.
Yeah, so there's an instance of Pit's up B being really not good, but it lasts long enough that he was able to get the platform.
If I also pressed down, I would have just sunk because his up B, when you like, you can fast fall it technically, and it just sinks him. Alright, fun stage.
This is a fun stage.
Yes, it is.
Confirmed. Where do we even
It's too
start?
early.
Fox is we talked a little bit about it earlier, but Fox is a pretty cool character. He's like an okay character overall. He's the worst of the Spaceys, but in Subspace we only really get to use him, and he's really fast, has Fox illusion, and he's generally pretty strong when it comes to any of the fights that he has to do.
RNG.
And that enemy, I think it's like a 1 in like 4 or something. If it can throw an item that'll actually do damage, that was just unlucky. But yeah, fox movement's really really intricate and interesting, but it's really difficult. And if you mess it up, it's pretty high risk, high reward. Because most of the time, if you're gonna mess up something like that, you're gonna be free falling afterwards. You could die or get hurt or something like that. But that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was an okay section. So this is just another instance of quickening auto-scroller by entering a door.
Yeah, so the game gives you enough leeway, like, outside of the bounds of the screen before you are in the blast zone. So it's kind of hard to determine, like, how early you can actually go in that door. If you go in too early, you just end up dying. So in this case, too, he's going to be going into a door, but if you go towards the door too early, you just get caught in the blast zone.
Speedrun at your risk, you know.
Yeah, so sometimes you just want to take a little bit extra time to ensure you're not going to die.
Alright, now we're entering a fight that probably scarred a bunch of kids' lives. And you'll instantly see a magic trick I like to call disappearing Diddy.
Yeah, so it's called back throw, and it's used, and
You're so deep in the blast zone. I was like too far into the blast zone that like literally the second frame he probably just
that was very close to the blast zone.
He just dies.
And we also picked Fox there just because it's faster again because he was already loaded in.
I like that illusion that was fast.
Fox is fast.
Fast boy.
So the next few rooms in the swamp are actually very platform focused. Apart from this fight here, there's going to be a lot of just Fox illusions, which is the side B move that he's been doing, and it's pretty satisfying, especially this next spring room here.
He just bounces.
Yeah, so the springs just take out or just cancel any like special fall you're in, and it's very satisfying and very fast.
Satisfying movement, smile.
And there you go.
Yeah, look at that. Like a speed run.
Imagine
You don't
that.
say. And then you gotta, you know, bring in the melee dash dance.
This fight's annoying, I'd say.
I don't think it's that bad. You kind of just F smash and hope you don't get hit by a bullet.
I don't like it. The Koopas have really weird, or paratroopers have really weird, what's it called? Like
Respawn mechanics is what you're...
Yeah, like respawn mechanics, that's a good way to put it. Like, if they don't die correctly, the game will just respawn them. And you don't really know if you killed them correctly unless you just know, really.
Right,
You have to mostly one-shot them, but you can also one-shot, like, there's like maybe a handful of instances where I'd one-shot a paratrooper and it still respawned. It's whack.
Yeah, basically, if they're in their shell, they can respawn. And if they're not in their shell, they're gone.
And picking Zerasu here is actually a little bit faster because Zerasu's running speed is a little bit faster than Pika's. The cycle that you make here would be the same, but there's some pretty cool movement that you can do with Zerasu in this room that literally just makes the section faster.
You just zip
Pretty
down
cool
that.
meaning down air.
Oh yeah! Look at that!
You just zip
Look how
down
fast. Look at that! You see
the
how fast
ladder.
that was?
Alright, more fun fights. I absolutely hate these fights.
Oh, sick! Yeah, this fight's great.
Ooh. Well, damn.
Ooh!
Screen KO too.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
Pika has moves
God.
that just
That was
send you
pretty
straight up.
That was
And
nasty.
it's super nice.
So now we're choosing Samus, and that is because we are technically doing another fight skip in the next room after this, because we want to be Pikachu for a part after the fight skip, so we have to pick Samus first and do the like fight skip / like death respawn. So that is why. Okay, that damage boost was super unintentional. I'm adding that to my runs.
Whoa! That was gnarly.
Perfect.
I've never done that before. Second time something like that has happened in this run.
That's just another thing that adds to, like, there's lots of things that he has to react to on top of the item RNG. There's also AI things that can happen like that. It was really good reaction.
Right. I am going as far as I can with Samus, so that I respawn here. I hit a button with Thunder with Pikachu and spawn these platforms, and we basically just kind of skip the entire room, basically. Alright, and then another skip, where, you know, they underestimated Pikachu's quick attack there.
You're supposed to start by going to the bottom portal and doing a whole, like, you do a fight room and another room, and you start on the other side of that room. It's a whole bunch of movement and stuff, and you can just skip it. Pikachu. Saves about 20 seconds, I think, if you do it.
Alright, now we just, you know, pray for a firecracker. Otherwise, we're gonna be here for 40 seconds.
Yeah, Ridley also has, I think Ridley also has one of those resistances for like everything, because it takes a while. And Ridley has a ton of moves that just send him across. This RNG has been very good so far though. Being able to do all this damage before Ridley just disappears off screen is just very, very lucky.
Something that we also like always want to try and get is in any of the boss fights or the bazookas or whatever, the cracker launchers, or any kind of bombs or explosives, because they just do a crap ton of damage to any of the bosses. But the cracker launchers do the most damage to any of the bosses, including Rayquaza.
I don't think it's that good in Rayquaza though.
Rayquaza, not too much, but yeah. But what I just did like 15 seconds ago is I accidentally spammed A, and because of when we go back to the subspace map, it puts us automatically on the save button. So if you spam A, you get screwed 3 seconds, and it's not fun.
Menuing.
Yeah, actual menuing.
There's a lot that goes into the speedrun other than just playing through all the levels. There's still menuing, making sure that we're, you know, not saving and doing other extra stuff.
Screwed up this fight.
Right.
Like picking up CDs and do it.
Ooh, never mind, that's good. Whenever I mess up this fight strat, I always get a good fight. Because there's a certain amount of enemies I have to kill for the next wave to spawn, like how those scope primids I didn't kill yet, and the next wave of enemies spawn. There's a couple fights like that. And then when Shadow spawn, we just SD, and they go away.
And they go, oh, okay. Okay, bye.
And then we go monkey mode.
Yeah, so, I mean, as we saw at the beginning with Kirby just using Inhale and sending Mario off screen, we embrace our inner child and just use the moves that do a lot of damage.
Please run
This freaking Primid.
Who wants to see this guy get exploded? Oh no, he fell. Alright, can I get the taunt in time? Ooh, barely.
It's also worth noting that those metal primids reflect projectiles, but that doesn't really come into play anywhere.
Alright, so now we have some really cool vertical Mennonite movement.
This is one of the stages that is faster on a harder difficulty. Like if you were to do like an IL or something of the stage. It's pretty crazy. It's very difficult.
Yeah, this is a pretty good demonstration of Mennonite's vertical movement.
Oh, we nearly died. That was super early.
Oh, goodness.
Alright, that was still pretty good. Alright, so we just did all that cool stuff. Now, who wants to wait 2 minutes to be able to do anything? I do.
Just infinite dimensional cape. The entire 2 minutes.
I could try. Oh, that will last like 2 seconds. Yeah, so if there's any more donations, definitely the best time in the run.
doesn't look like many have come in, unfortunately. But I will take this moment to shout out Stack Up, the charity we're doing this for. They support the mental health of veterans through gaming. Of course, to get more information about it, you can do !charity in chat, and you can learn more and donate if you are able to.
Fight me.
My hamster is awake, and he is saying hi.
Hello, hamster. But I guess something that I haven't explained yet with Mennonite that may also be kind of relatively new to you guys too is whenever I'm doing like a 5 to 6 jump glide or whatever with Mennonite, I'm up airing rather than just like straight up jumping. I'm also adding the up air inputs. I've timed it and it saves for 6 jump to get all the way up to the last jump rather than just spamming the jump button. If I add up air input, that it saves in between 1/4 and 1/2 second. So
Interesting.
that's why I'm doing those up airs at times, and it's like kind of very like actually difficult to try to get those as perfect timing as possible. Try to like input a jump and then up air the frame after.
Yeah, Mennonite's up air is so broken that it's a first frame that you can act out of is faster than the double jump first frame. That should not happen.
And then I exited that auto-scroller because the door was reachable in the blast zone, or just before the blast zone. And more vertical Mennonite.
Yeah, this is a very, very vertical melon.
And then we meet our old pal Lucario, who, you know, if he behaves, will die in 5 seconds. Oh, would you look at that?
Very good fight.
Yeah, most of the time he'll sit on a platform, but he can also start with a pattern of jumping off, doing whatever he wants. Alright, now we're coming up to literally one of my most... I hate this level. It's another big, just big fight level. There's only, I think, 3 of those, kind of, in this whole run. This is the worst one. I hate it. But I'm gonna start off with trying to manipulate primates to jump over to my side. Just so I don't have to, you know, go back and forth between platforms. I'm just gonna hope this isn't a bad hammer. Yeah, why did I even have to say that? This is heavily bad RNG RNG run.
One hit with the hammer before it broke.
True.
And then getting hit took the handle out, so it wasn't all bad. But
That wasn't bad.
yeah, hammers have a chance to just break. Golden hammers also have a chance to be squeaky. I don't know the exact numbers on that, but it seems very high in subspace.
Alright,
Because of
the
course.
last wave is very wonky. Okay, getting that glider kill with that Armite is very scary. So now this actually, I think this is like perfect. Wow. Yep. Perfect wave there. That one's like probably the hardest.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the odds of getting a squeaker is definitely more in subspace. I don't know why.
Yeah, it for sure feels like it.
Alright, well that first part of that level sucked. Alright, now we got slight focus mode in a little bit, but when I mentioned in one of the early levels about Dacus, because, you know, Sheik has a pretty good Dacus, she can't do it. Snake can Dacus. In subspace. People don't know
Snake
what it
also has
is.
the longest Dacus.
It is a Brawl Tech of dash attack cancel with an up smash, and it gives us speed. Alright, so now I'm going to try to do a 20-second time save where I'm going to go out of bounds and avoid hitting all these buttons and portals with Snake. And I'm going to focus real quick. Easy.
So what you're supposed to do there? There's a couple spots that you go to the spot, and there's a couple enemies you got to kill, and then a button that opens up some floor to get to the door that everything was skipped and Tech got to. So
yeah. I've only
that's
like
very...
super recently added that to my actual runs. That may have been like literally the 5th time that's ever happened in a full run.
Yeah, that's a pretty difficult skip, and it was executed very well.
We basically play Duelist Pro out of bounds. If anyone knows what Duelist Pro is, just self-inflicting C4 hits.
It's definitely a clap from me, dog.
Alright, and then we're just gonna do a room full of enemies, and then we're gonna do another stupid fight that I hate. So many like that.
Shout out to Zorark Films for finding that skip right there.
Yeah, we're supposed to go all the way to the right to get that metal prime and kill, but we can just literally forward smash through the wall. Also getting that double down smash hit on that. Oh god, this one.
There's a lot of people in the community that kind of like found a bunch of either found or like started to implement or like brought attention to like certain strats or methods of doing fights or something like that, or like routes and mazes.
Please don't bother me.
The community.
Oh my god, no. I don't play with audio, so I have no clue if that's bad or not.
Oh good.
Oh god.
Just counter. Just counter.
Wait, Mennonite has a counter, right?
Oh shit.
I tried. Okay. Yeah.
Nice,
oh,
nice.
Taste your own medicine. Come here.
Ooh, a bat.
I really want to hit this. This is all the pain you've caused me. Okay, you know what? No!
Similar to Karu fight, we basically just tried to down smash, but things didn't work out as planned.
Okay. Yeah, this is honestly some of the worst RNG in a full run I've seen in years. Oh my god, she found it. She found the bat.
Monka.
Oh, please just die. I've just down smashed you. Okay.
Lucaria is also one of the worst subspace characters. So
you know that snake skip time save? That was all for nothing.
hey,
But we got
time save's a time save.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I'd say it was worth it.
It was.
So this is the first time you're supposed to use Sheik or like find out who Sheik is, but the game doesn't stop you from using Sheik earlier. So pretend this is the first time you're learning about Sheik.
Sheik.
Yeah, Sheik is some brand new character that we've never seen before.
Where's that green guy? That green guy Zelda? Where is he?
Green guy.
Ha! I tried to do
like
a
a
fancy
turtle?
damage boost and just got absolutely obliterated.
Thing. Oh my god.
Oof.
Is that good?
There's
oh my
a-
god, I would have cried if that was bad. My
That would have been some good stalling for 100%.
Please enter. Okay, I thought that was gonna go away as soon as I just about to enter the door and lose me like 2 more seconds. Look at all the enemies. That blue guy at the bottom right in the 4th one is called the Mizo, and he was planned for the water levels and never implemented.
Yeah.
Little fun fact.
Yay, unused enemies.
Ah, the 4. They did not hit me.
There's always going to be instances of like certain moves that he's going to use on different enemies, because like some moves are going to kill an enemy in one shot, or they'll do a little bit more damage to an enemy for some reason. So like he was using Nair on the puppets because it would kill. Because if you use forward smash, which is a move we would normally use as Sheik, it just doesn't kill them for some reason.
Yeah, it just doesn't do enough damage or knockback or whatever the criteria is.
Which is pretty interesting. Adds variety, I guess.
There's like some weird thing with the end of this level where with these chain grabs on the ledges with the get up roll, it can be a slow get up or a fast get up, and I don't know why that
It's a slow get up if you're over 100%. just in general in Smash, if you're at 100%, all of your ledge options are slower.
When you learn.
Interesting.
That's a thing in Melee and Brawl. It's not a thing in 4 or Ultimate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jack is poise.
Yeah. We use Snake here. We used to use actually quite a couple of these characters. I think originally, original runs back in like 2014 or something, had done Falco at some point, either Falco or Lucario, and then it moved on to Sheep.
Yep.
And then later on, we discovered, hey, Snake is still pretty good with that Smash. He wants to see a box.
The most optimal way is to pull a Stitch Face with Peach and just abuse that, but that's some TAS stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so you know the wall clip that I failed? We're about to do another one. And hopefully not fail it. That will kind of be... yeah. But, yeah. This level is just wall clip, fight, and...
yeah. If not wall clip, then elevator, fight, finish.
And then we go out of bounds a little bit, and then go find the little room, because this is like a little maze level, kind of. That's why it's so short.
Very cool.
And save a bit of time, and then we have a fight. Fun fight. Except when you get hit, then it's not fun. Okay, get hit twice. It's so not fun. And then item RNG. Super not fun. And then forget there's more enemies. Totally not fun. And then a bomb's about to kill you. Oh my god. This is crazy. This is actually
sick.
I actually can't believe the item RNG.
That was a lot of emotion.
Oh my god. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't die, and I can finish the run. Yep, this is one of the longest stages, but it's pretty interesting.
It's the longest single stage that isn't the Great Maze in the game. And it has multiple different parts. So the first part is just going to be some Falcon movement, breaking some boxes, doing a little bit of an auto-scroller after this little fight here, and then we'll get to the next part.
Another great example of a character that's terrible competitively. Captain Falcon is not a good character at all in Brawl, but in Subspace, with the very minor tweaks and the general consensus of how you play Subspace, Falcon is busted.
Yeah, especially with the other options we have here. Olimar is probably the single worst Subspace character, and then Diddy and DK just aren't that good.
Well, I kind of held right too much.
A death was definitely a Monka.
Yeah. Thing is, this is why we choose Diddy, because he's the only other good backup. He actually doesn't lose that much time if I do die with Falcon here. Also, I can do a B-reverse peanut hit on that, and hope to god that it... okay, it didn't hit.
No, I just over it.
Why did it go over it? I thought it hit! Oh my god, I forgot about the wall clings. This run's a disaster.
Oh god. Get down there, dude. Okay. Alright, no, my god.
Normally it'd be doing... oh my god, I dodge all of those. Okay. There's some items that pop an enemy can throw at you that hits you back, it does damage, and you did 2 of those and I dodged them so well. Alright, but yeah, normally you're supposed to do this part with, do this and the next few parts with Falcon, but you know, we died with Falcon.
Yeah, this part implements the the couple switch to open a door system, and it's only used one other time. It's kind of like a fairly big platformer mechanic, only to be used twice in the entire game.
Pretty epic.
I don't know how to get past this part.
Luckily, a lot of the more interesting stuff is going to be after this section. This is just a cool Falcon movement showcase, but this is now showcasing some Diddy Kong movement, which is cool too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over this pause glitch, even though I don't know how to do this stuff reliably with Diddy. Okay, I failed it anyway. Yeah, the pause glitch in this, it results in skipping this key that we're about to get. If I could do it reliably, and with Falcon, which, you know, neither of those I couldn't, so now we just grab this key and dip. And now we go back to Falcon. we should have been for the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, so this is another fairly involved, like, arena fight where we're forced to kill, like, 40 or so enemies.
But
We have strats
Just start off, you can just run to the side, and they all just don't want to bother.
Yeah, strats. We all have all the good stuff. Okay. I think hammer is normally good for this first part.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to actually as soon as it spawned, I was about to say it. I want to avoid those big mushrooms because sometimes those primate enemies can go in between the hitbox, the big Captain Falcon down smash hitbox. So that's why I wanted to avoid it.
Yeah, and again, you can just run off stage to get those birds to
Hey, screw you, bird.
just fly off.
Nice. Alright, I'm gonna hope RNG is on my side. Oh, it is. Cool. Alright. I had strats to kill those armings there, but, you know. Hammer. Alright, cool. Skip incoming.
Yeah, so this skip also works a little bit differently on PAL.
How did that happen? Okay. My input
Dang.
literally... Okay. There's a chance of that happening where my input just gets completely dropped, and that has never happened in a run like that before.
So, again, what was intended to happen?
I'm doing it again because it still saves like a couple of
Fair,
seconds
fair.
if I get it again.
So what we're going to try is basically just buffering an up B with Rob, which pretty much just makes you fly. And you're able to go over like the left wall. And then basically you fall all the way down that wall, and then you die at the bottom. And on PAL, you're able to just pretty much just spawn at the bottom again.
Yeah, I don't
So-
buffer this because the buffer version is oddly harder. So
So we'll see how it goes here.
maybe I wasn't spamming fast enough, but instead of this being an exactly 1 minute time save, I'm probably saving 5 seconds. I kind of forgot how much it saves if you try to get it second time.
It still looks cool though.
Because you still gotta get you still gotta like SD with everyone pretty quick. And I think.
Hey,
that was
but
pretty
then you saw what you're supposed to do, but that's what we do.
good.
Yeah, instead of doing an auto-scroller, you do that. So on NTSC, that works a little bit differently. You're still able to fly over the wall, but you don't die at the corner there. You instead kind of just fall through the auto-scroller without the auto-scroller camera moving. So like you go through the platforming section, and then you're able to fall all the way to the bottom.
I think it saves like another like 5 to 10 seconds over, maybe more. I don't know. I don't remember.
Are you talking about PAL versus NTSC?
Yeah.
Yeah, the version difference is it's 7 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not that much, and it's honestly not that hard. You have a lot of leeway. I just didn't get it first time because the game literally dropped my input.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an
The load
easy
also
trick to
seemed
learn.
pretty quick.
Yeah, because we spawned back as Rob, who I think is a pretty fast loader, even though we don't spawn. There's the big fight we had. We were still Falcon. I think
Right.
it's
It might have
fast
something to
load.
do with we selected him second, maybe as well.
Something like that.
Still learning things till today.
Getting
Yeah,
above
especially with-
140 on this fight is still good.
Yeah, knowing how the game manages memory is pretty difficult.
Alright, now we have Mennonite the stage.
Yeah, so we're coming to the close of the subspace levels. This is the first level where we get a pick of everybody that we've unlocked so far, and obviously we're going to pick Mennonite because, of course. And we'll see a similar thing later with getting to pick characters that we have. So, entrance to subspace is basically just a little bit of an auto-scroller, a fight, and then a big, long glide to just get a total of 3 fights.
This is a stage that you can skip the beginning, like the trigger of the auto-scroller, but there isn't a version that we know of, at least, that we can die like you normally do in PAL version and Wilds 2, and skip it. Like it'll just warp us back to the start, so the skip doesn't do anything.
Alright, this is what kind of like one of the fight skips we're trying
That
to
damage
find
boost
still.
was insane.
That was unintentional, and I think it may have lost me a bit of time. I don't know. So now we
It was insane.
So now we say goodbye to this level. Goodbye, Mennonite. He'll be back
So
in
that
like
was,
he'll be back in like 7 minutes.
Yeah, that was a whole 3 fights skipped, and all those fights are super long, so...
And now we're a little child, lost.
Yeah, so, more lore. Basically, the final boss that we'll be fighting later turned everybody into trophies, but, DDD stuck a couple, like, brooches onto Ness and Luigi because they were part of his collection, which is never explained in the lore. Those are also some cutscenes. But those brooches allow trophies to become untrophies, so now that's just why we only have these couple of characters.
Oh god, I forgot you can't enter doors on Trellons. Oh my god.
That was whack.
There have been quite a fair amount of heart attacks this run.
So the point of this level and the next one is to collect pretty much as many trophies as you want to use in the Great Maze, which is the final segment of the game.
We're only collecting a handful. We only technically need Charizard and Mennonite, but to make the menuing a bit faster, because we do quit subspace twice to enter back to, you know, decrease backtracking. So that's why I'm picking some of these characters for that specific reason, just to make the menuing easier. So it's like a one input to like get to Mennonite, pretty much. So pretty much the only characters we're gonna use is Charizard for like 2 bosses, and pretty much Mennonite the whole way. Mennonite the level, like the long level. You just see a bunch of gliding. That's really what it is. But Maze is very deceiving. It can really screw you over. It's a lot of RNG. Oh my god, did I get... Okay, yep. What a troll. Okay, that was so good. Just another, you know, end level character pattern that is
Basically a repeat of the first strat we do in the game, a Kirby character swallowing up a Mario character in SD.
Yeah, it's a very nice callback to the first level.
Yeah.
Alright, so we pretty much got everyone from Subspace 1, and the only character we get from Subspace 2 is Mennonite, and then just try to dip.
Is the main character.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so Kirby's here because literally there's like no reason why Kirby's here and the others aren't. Like, Kirby also like ate one of DDD's special things for some reason.
Just Sakurai wants to make him the main character.
When Peach was like saved, I suppose, the metal was like fell off, and Kirby just was like, oh, I guess I'll just eat it. So
Yeah, you know, as you do, you just find something you don't know on the ground, you just eat
well, it's
it.
Kirby. It's Kirby.
Yeah.
It do be Kirby. You know what I'm saying? That probably is what he would think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. So just he shows up because he took Peach's medal.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. Now he's dancing. And now he's about to teleport.
I'd say this is probably a good
Ledges.
time for donations if there are any as well.
I could get one in.
Still, unfortunately, not getting any, but again, just to bring up, stack up the charity we're doing this for. It's for helping mental health for veterans through gaming. You can do !charity in the chat, learn more about it, and donate if you're able to.
And then there was obviously another instance of me trying to pause glitch. That one saves the most amount of time if I were to get into the strat correctly. Sadly, that is the last one I go for, and we are 0 for however many I go for.
It's okay.
Unfortunate.
Hard strat is hard.
It's true. Frame perfect strats are notoriously frame perfect.
This is a fun
I
strat.
could go for one more, but this is a very awkward one. Should I? Yeah, screw it. Oh my god! Are you kidding me? Hold on. Okay, the fight strat is very confusing.
Huh.
And I didn't get it entirely. I had to wait. It's a weird SD strat, but I mostly save time. I think I saved a bit. Like,
have we ever actually explained what the pause glitches do?
yeah, like early on in the run.
Yeah.
I couldn't skip that cutscene because I kind of moved up my chair. All right, Mennonite the level.
Well, there we go.
Alright, so
One
this
pause
level
glitch.
is done. Now it's on to the other section of the run, which is the Great Maze, where we get to revisit pretty much everywhere we've already gone and fight every character we've seen. And some we haven't because they were only in cutscenes this far.
And fun fact, this is where I originally started doing my subspace runs. I just played Great Maze for like a few months before even doing any subspace, while Ducky was yelling at me to do subspace.
It's true. I was all alone. There was no one there beside me.
So it took a few months before I could actually decide what to do subspace runs, but 4 years later, here we are getting horrible RNG and one pause glitch. Alright, but for the main killing tactics for the maze, for the characters, the bosses are like different. It's mostly like nair down smash, as I've explained before, but we're gonna mostly want to do dash attack to up B. Dash attack pops up the enemies in a relatively good position for an instant up B. But there are some characters where I like to take a more riskier approach, where I try to do like a short hop forward air. It pops them up really far off stage for the characters that normally wouldn't get killed off the up smash or the up B. So, oh my, I can't believe the RNG. But yeah, there's like each fight is obviously thought out of whether I would do the dash attack up B strat or the forward air up B strat. Yeah, the forward air is more risky because they get sent farther away from you, and then you have to read a potential like jump or air dodge that may never even happen or happen earlier than expected.
Yeah, some characters also have some interesting properties where they just get sent back way farther than they should. Like normally characters like Rob or DDD are super heavy in the game, but in the maze they just get knocked out immediately pretty much. A lot of these sections are just rehashes of previous places that we've already been. So this is the forest, we were in Skyworld, and so on.
Yeah. We're gonna be going out of order because obviously this is a maze, and you know we gotta choose the fastest characters to obliterate next. So the route for the Great Maze has been pretty static for like the last 5 years. There's only been one like small 15-second change, like maybe 2 or so years ago, and that's like in the 4th quadrant, so that's more towards the end. It's when we do the save and, or not quit or save, but a quit out strat, where we prevent excessive backtracking. So we do that twice, and the little reroute that happened involves one of those. Other than that, things has been pretty much the same. It's just a matter of RNG and execution.
Yeah, so those save and quits happen because there's a couple dead ends in the maze, and it's faster to just respawn at one of the main respawn points than it is to backtrack. That Diddy strat is really annoying sometimes. If you don't get that exact strat, Diddy is just a nightmare to fight.
It hasn't failed me yet, so monkey dead. Alright, so I entered that door because we are going to be doing a quit out strat soon, because who would want to climb up all this crap? I mean, look at that, bombs and like ladders. Who wants to do all that? Ah, see, that's the risk of the forward air strats. Just, you know, trying to read that potential air dodge, delayed jump, no jump. Like, it's risky. And then got this last character, and then we're gonna do quit. I could have done a dash attack. Probably would have killed. Alright. Now we just quit out.
Yeah.
That was pretty gamer. Now we quit out, and the file is already at the top. I don't know why they did that, but file is at the top. And we choose Charizard because he is used in this for 2 bosses, one being Duan right now, and then obviously Taboo, being the boss killer that he is.
Yeah, the game really wanted to make sure you didn't lose your save, so even if you forgot to save your game or anything, it had an autosave feature that would let you go to whatever you were last playing. So we just use that to our advantage.
Alright, even though I did get hit there, that was still good. Duan didn't lose those blue side moves. With Squirtle.
Yeah. So getting hit there literally means nothing just because we're going to SD immediately to get back to Mennonite.
Yep. So that was Charizard. Won't see him for another 20 minutes or so. Back to the Mennonite show it is. And we're coming up on a section of characters that absolutely suck. Nice drill at me.
Yeah, there's like, weirdly enough, there's just certain characters that their AI is just more trolly than others. Some of them like to work more and are easier to kill. For example, just like DDD will die in pretty much just 1 up B, but there's other characters that just won't do that.
I want the shit.
Right.
Oh my god, please.
Snake is one of those characters.
And then
Snake is very interesting.
up the armor. You know what? Come here. Come here.
Thompson?
Try not to get in between that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a handful of characters that are just genuinely, just really annoying to deal with.
And they're all kind of in this section. Particularly Snake and Mennonite sometimes.
Game Watch also can cause issues. Oh.
And you don't want to, you want to make sure like you're not taking that much damage as well, because we're only giving ourselves so many times to actually heal. So we want these fights to go over for multiple reasons. Like each of these fights, we carry over the health that we take. So.
So optimally I want to avoid healing altogether, but in full runs there's most likely a chance I'll have to heal once, maybe 2 times. Very rare to get a just Great Maze run with 0 heals. I'm pretty sure the record maze has 1 heal, so it's hard. But they do lose time.
Yeah, you're basically passing the heals anyways when you're there, so they don't lose as much time. You're not really going out of your way to heal sometimes.
Nice little reverse. Heal on. Then back to the Mennonite glide.
Gliding is just so satisfying when it's done correctly.
Slightly early. That was a really good forward air angle from this.
Something cool I like about like maze movement is that it is like parts of all the stages that we've been going to, but they are all like kind of warped a little bit, so the movement options are different. There's variety, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I have no clue what inside my brain 4 years ago decided to do 3 months of this before any subspace.
Yeah, that was a little questionable.
Yeah, but now
cool. You got them.
If anyone's like wanting to seriously get into running this and doing more than like 1 or 2 runs, I definitely recommend doing like ILs of the Great Maze. It definitely can help because that's the huge time loss for most people starting out.
And there's leaderboards for it.
Yeah.
It's a category.
It is.
Yeah.
I forgot where it was. Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most complex, or if not the most complex part of the run, so it's very important to have a pretty good understanding at least what you're doing.
It's like very odd because the consistency, it used to be like really hard at times. It's like 2017-ish to early 2018, where the consistency wasn't really there. We had no clue why. Like, obviously it could have been, execution, could have been the characters, but it took some time until, consistency came about because this is like pretty heavily RNG dependent.
Yeah, the something like keeping in mind about like subspace first of all, and then also like Smash speedruns. That there is a lot of stuff that goes into the speedruns. Even if it's just like a classic mode run or something, there's just a lot of like RNG and stuff like that, but different than Pokemon or RPG RNG. So it's a lot to deal with when you're doing lots of attempts, but it's a really cool experience, especially with subspace. I'd say, and something cool with Brawl as well is that there's so many modes, and there's so much resources that we have now, just from our community growing through subspace. It's been pretty cool. Like through subspace we've optimized the maze. We've also optimized like events and classic mode and stuff like that, just through people joining and branching out into other sections of Brawl. It's been pretty cool.
Yep. That Pikachu strat was me doing a safe strat that loses 4 seconds and ended up failing it into saving 3 seconds. There's a couple of things like that.
That movement there is really tight.
Also, another thing, while we have a decently sized audience, if you have ever somehow entered the taboo fight without killing all the characters and bosses, please let us know. As much as this is like a pretty stable part in the run, I would love a category without it. Also, easiest character to kill in the maze. Just
maze skip would be pretty cool.
It would. Be able to get sub 30, sub 130. That sounds really, really nice.
That's like a cool, appealing aspect of New Game Plus. When looking at other categories for subspace, specifically, just because New Game Plus like really just gets to showcase like how fast can you do all these stages with pretty much like very little limitations.
No downtime, and just it's a very difficult category, but it is short.
Yeah,
depending on how you approach it.
Stuff.
Depending on how you approach it, I guess. Also, I'm gonna try to not die to Ridley because I have to heal regardless. Alright, there was a hitbox at the very top of that ending animation that could have just exploded me. And there was a hitbox with that wind animation too that I somehow avoided. Okay, I have to heal because I don't want to go into a fiery hall of hell at 134%. So I'll take the time loss.
Yeah, because it was mentioned, New Game Plus is just doing every level and killing the final boss, so Great Maze is not included as one of those levels, and you're also able to pick any character you want for those levels.
Sadly, it's like the shortest you can get out of subspace besides doing like great maze runs. But yeah, if you're interested in longer stuff, category extensions, and 100% for anyone who like ever gets interested in runs any percent and wants to do a different category, 100% is basically any percent with like 15 minutes of just collecting other stuff and then 7 minutes of secret character BS. It's pretty fun when first running it. But yeah, the category extensions is a pretty good meme. Jumpless. I literally spent like a week just coming up with jumpless strats just to do one run.
Jumpless is the best meme that I never got to do.
Yeah, my goal time was like 250 or 249, and I ended up beating that like 10 minutes. I'm like, yep, never doing this again.
It's cool. The YouTube video gave us the inspiration to do it, and we did it, you know?
Yep.
Shoutouts to that YouTube video.
Yep, and then there's like multiple, because that was like kind of a craze in like late 2019, early 2020. My input did not get right there. Oh, hello, dude. Okay. This is also one of the easiest characters to kill. Not in reverse. But yeah, Subspace has a lot of versatility, and you can, you know, speedrun it however you want. And we definitely offer quite a lot of ways. He's lasering me. What the hell? Screw you.
I also want to plug that next month, December 14th, I'm going to be doing all challenges speedrun using hammers, so not hammerless, sorry, but all challenges run for the really, really longathon. It's going to be a 40-ish, 45-ish hour run of Brawl and some other game. I don't actually know what the game is going to be in between, because there's like a 6 to 7 hour.
No, that is literally never happened to me before.
What the
that is the first time I've ever seen that before.
Seen that.
That was literally faster than TAS, I'm sure. I've never seen a fox fight
That must have been like UDI'd to the right, and he was like, "Well, I guess I'll go right."
Yeah, for sure.
I have no clue.
Yeah, definitely check out that all challenges run. It's a run.
Yeah, we've got some updated strats, updated route. I'm gonna try putting on a good show for you guys that come out and watch that. But yeah, there's lots of good content for Brawl speedruns, for sure.
It's been pretty silent the last couple year and a half, but it's starting to brighten up over the last couple months.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the people, like myself and RDA, that aren't really active in the game are really active in the community still, just wanting to help people out and stuff. And if you're interested in learning the run, I have a tutorial on my channel. So check that out. It's not the most updated, it's a couple years old, but it's
still relatively beginner friendly.
Right, it's definitely a great launching point.
Yeah, it's kind of why I haven't really touched on it, updated it myself. So definitely recommend that.
Subspace is a very it's Smash, so it's a very open-ended movement option game. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing any of these stages. There's some stuff that's like, okay, you need to do up B here, you need to do these certain things here and there, but for the most part, especially in maze and doing these fights, there's a lot of ways that you can go about doing it, and probably going good and or better than expected. Especially just going with the RNG aspect of items and stuff like that. So there's just a lot. So having a basic beginner idea of how to go about the stages is kind of all you really
Yeah.
need, I'd say.
I hope
Yeah, I mean-
the amount of item RNG in this run didn't scare off too many people, because it's actually absurd the amount of items I got in multiple fights. It really isn't this bad. I probably lost 3 minutes total with stuff like that, or maybe like 2-ish, and then like 2 minutes to, you know, me dying trying to do a 2-second time loss wall clip and losing a minute.
But it's honestly not even something that you think of, like, looking at the times. If you look at the times on a leaderboard, like, text time is really, really good and optimized, and it can obviously get more optimized because it's a hard game to optimize. But like second and third and fourth place, like the high 159s and 158s, low 2-hour times, like those are two completely different, like, almost skill gaps, I would say,
Yeah,
just because.
kind of almost eras, I'd say, because, well, everyone else who did get their final goal, I relatively came back and tried to improve upon, you know, just improving what I felt like could be improved. It's always funny when getting a bumper, because
Bumpers are hype. Best strat in me.
But over the last year, especially 6 months, I like heavily grinded ILs, trying to optimize this game, technically by myself, and it was quite a journey. And somehow saved like 4 minutes, 5-ish, through doing that. So it's definitely
Really
still got
props.
a little bit ways to go. It's definitely a really fun run. Okay, I don't go for that damage boost, but sure.
Fun run, and just like there's just so much that goes into it. So much that can happen. Like, you don't have to really like practice. I didn't practice.
No, I never practiced.
I practiced, and with me specifically, I took breaks. I took extremely long breaks.
I didn't.
I did not. Well, I played for about a year and then hit my goal, and then now I'm here.
I would get like 10, I don't know why I didn't glide there. I would get like 10 minutes off my time, and then just leave for a year, year and a half-ish. And
Yeah, I
then
played
come
for a
back
good
and-
2.5 years.
Yep. So, this kill.
Oof.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. I feel like this is definitely one of those games that you can put a good amount of time into, get a good run, and then kind of just improve on the little things for forever, pretty much. Like, I have a ton of time I could be saving, but it's just a lot of like little things.
And there's our second quit, just to prevent backtracking.
This is the newer one.
Yeah, we did this one before, but like the route for the enemies on this quadrant were different. Can't remember what it was because it was so long ago, but we did a different character order there.
It was just Zelda, Peach,
Yeah,
and then
Charizard was done after the reset, as opposed to before.
And then Wario, another bad character. But we're coming pretty close to the end. I think we have about another 7 minutes or something like that, so we're on the brink of sub 2. Definitely not the runner. Oh my god, just straight up fire punch.
Yeah, so there's around, what, 8 or 9 enemies left, plus the final boss.
So,
For the sake of memes, what's the marathon world record?
I think yours is a high 201.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so going into this is pretty much guaranteed to be the marathon.
Yeah,
This
unless
is the
I
next
die.
marathon record.
Unless I die at the end and just
Go Techstrobe.
unless I copy like my current record and just absolutely play so good and then just screw up the last 5 minutes.
No. No.
But yeah, sadly I couldn't get the type of run I wanted. I've been getting pretty consistent, like 156s and lower, but I mean, I can't control the RNG that has happened this run. It's actually so crazy.
You've had to deal with a lot, for sure.
Yeah, that's probably an understatement. Yeah, definitely a lot of randomly bad item RNG that I've not seen to that degree in years.
Yeah, Rayquaza is sometimes awful with the moves that he can do.
Also, Team Rayquaza or Team Rayquaza?
Or Rayquaza.
It's Rayquaza.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And then we're going back to the bottom left quadrant because that's where the route goes.
Yeah, you can use those teleports that they spawn, or you can just use the map. The map's faster.
The map.
Map also heals you.
Yeah, it's literally just better, but it doesn't have the animation.
Wow,
So.
I suck. I'm getting so many like just opposite hits. Yeah, so this is either gonna be probably around barely sub 2, or, you know, for the meme, get like 2 flat. I would very much just laugh at that if that were to happen.
Press like if you think this is gonna sub 2.
Press like.
Yeah.
Also, back to really cool Mennonite vertical movement that is very...
Yeah, this should definitely sub 2.
I'm pressing like, that's all I'm saying.
Where am I right now? Oh, I'm on the car, right? I just forget sometimes where I am because I don't have splits.
Yeah, and you're like minus 40 on my PB.
Pog.
So, definitely doable.
Game over in Taboo.
Still probably beat my PB. My Taboo was Geeks.
Alright, this is a... Oh, got it. That's a really hard forward-air strat.
Dang.
They always... They're not always, but you want them to quickly jump. You barely get them. Alright, and then we're gonna just zoom through all this part and zoom and, you know, hit a button.
Very fun. Very...
Oh my god, what was that up? Is he dead? Oh my god, he died. I thought he doesn't die from the middle.
Nah, Ike's a wimp.
Ike is, yeah, Ike doesn't know how to recover.
He's a wimpy boo-boo.
On Pal, he always jumps. I don't know why. So, I completely forgot that because I always screw up my actual strat. Alright, and then we're gonna enter this door, just reset this, these spikes coming down, save a tiny bit of time.
So this is the final section of Maze. There's going to be 2 more fights in the final boss.
Yep. Yeah, he disappeared. Alright, and then Marth's a very weird character. Sometimes it just goes over the left and then you can just kill him like I didn't do there.
In theory.
In theory.
Yeah, Marth is very strange. Like one of the weirdest AIs. Along with like Mario and stuff.
Yeah, he is. Mario's so weird, dude.
Mario, Zelda, and Marth are 3 of the hardest fights in all of Maze. It's very annoying.
They're weirdos.
Hopefully I can get a, like my goal time, like in case a lot of bad stuff happened, which it did, is get a 158, which would be a 2nd place time on the leaderboard.
That is definitely doable here.
Nice. Nice.
Still doable.
Oh my god. Throwback to when Ducky kind of lost the run to Ganon.
Alright, who hasn't lost a run to Ganon?
Dude, I remember that.
I don't think I've lost a run to Ganon. I've lost a run to Ice Climbers. Like, that's the deepest I think I've lost a run. I've lost like 5 runs to Ice Climbers.
So here's our final boss, Taboo, which obviously we know nothing about because we haven't been keeping up with the lore.
No.
Gonna get
It's
Charizard and Witten.
still the same. Just Boss Killer, Rock Smash. We're not using Sonic because Sonic no fast, even though he go fast, but he no fast. And here's the best move that you want him to do. because you can SDI it and
Yeah.
get him like that.
Nice.
And a nair for the win.
And-
Time.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, with a lot of terrible item RNG and, you know, bad, a little bit of bad execution. It was pretty nice time.
Jeez.
That was a good run.
And I'm just saving this because I'd like to save marathon in-game time. Just go all the way past my practice files and 158.
GG's.
So that was Subspace Emissary and 8%. If anyone is interested in learning this, we have a bunch of resources, Discord server that you can join in the from the SRC page, and there's definitely a lot of helpful people in there that will kindly answer your questions if anyone has any more shout outs or anything.
Shout out to Techstrobe.
Yeah, that guy's pretty cool.
Shout out to Dragolina.
Yep, she's pretty cool.
Shout out to the people that have run this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're pretty
shout outs
cool.
to Filthy Scrub Gamer. Shout out to Desh and the task community.
Yep,
Because they do a lot.
all of them are pretty cool people. So yep, join the Discord if you're interested in learning, and I think that's it. Thanks for
Free melee.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, free melee.
Free melee.
We are melee friendly too. All right, that's it. Thanks for having us.